Welcome to Houston City Beat with news that matters to Hugh. I'm Lisbet Newton alongside Mike Acosta. Mike, I know you've been following a very tragic story in Houston today. Why don't you fill us in on all the details that you know about it?
Thanks, Lisbeth. We started out the news day this morning with some different stories, and we wound up with at about 11 o'clock, or actually about 11:30, as many of you out there already know, Brazoria County Sheriff's Deputy Jesus Vargas was killed as he was trying to serve a warrant on a suspect, a repeat offender, violent suspect this morning. They were off of Stella Link. The truck is, I've now seen some of the video footage that was just released not that long ago. And essentially, the way the situation played out was the officers were in a white truck, an unmarked white truck. They did have flashing lights in the grill. They came upon the truck that Robert Davis III was in. He's age 56, also was known as Sean Davis. And I say was because as you may have heard in the news, he was killed and shot by police this evening just before 5 o'clock in a shootout as a manhunt was underway to try to find this killer that killed Deputy Vargas. But they came upon a brown truck sitting in the parking lot off of Stella Link in the shopping center right by a Dollar Tree store. And they were going to serve a warrant that was active in Brazoria County. Deputy Vargas was deputized by the U.S. Marshals as part of a special task force to pursue this suspect in Harris County, and immediately gunfire erupted. The suspect he was the passenger in the truck. He got out and he started firing immediately at the officers. And unfortunately, Deputy Vargas was struck apparently in the head, and he was killed there at the scene. His body was taken to Bentop Hospital. This all happened about 11:30 this morning, and a manhunt was underway for most of the afternoon. DPS put out a blue alert with the description. Again, Robert Davis III, a repeat offender, has convictions and has spent time in TDC dating back into the 90s. So this was a guy who was very dangerous. He shouldn't have been out there. The mayor Whitmire spoke at the scene early on with Chief Noe Diaz at the scene when they were trying to gather all the information. It was a very fluid situation early on today, and acknowledged that this was a repeat offender, but this was somebody that was being pursued through a special task force. So this was not something that was, hey, we're just chasing this guy. This was something. They had been following him. They located him in Houston, and they found him here at this shopping center. And unfortunately, this tragedy happened today.
So, Mike, for those people that are watching that might not know, what is a blue alert?
A blue alert is when there's been a life endangered or an officer has been shot in an incident somewhere in Texas, and the Texas Department of Public Safety, the state trooper's office, they put this out. I'm sure everybody got one this afternoon on their phones, and they put out the information with the suspect so that way people can be vigilant and look for the suspect as they have a manhunt. That's essentially what it is. It's kind of like an Amber Alert when someone, or Silver Alert, for Amber Alert for kids, Silver Alert for elderly adults, who might have, if they have Alzheimer's or something like that, they lose their way. A blue alert is to alert the public that an officer has been injured or has been killed in the line of duty, and that they are actively looking for that suspect.
So once the tragic shooting happened, what ensued after that? I know that there was a manhunt. How long did it take for them to find this individual?
Well, they searched all afternoon. This happened at 11:30 this morning. It all came to an end, although the investigation is still going on. The body, as of about an hour ago, of Robert Davis III was where he was shot and killed by police. What happened was that he hid from police. The U.S. Marshals K-9 unit came out. They were searching up and down the bayou and the area right behind Stella Link and the shopping center in that area, in those neighborhoods. And then the K-9 units found the scent. And Robert Davis had hidden in a dumpster, and he was in there with the trash. And when the canine unit went in there and found his scent, he came out firing. He did strike the canine unit. The dog was named Rocky, and Rocky is actually doing fine. They said he is about a year and a half old, and he was taken to get veterinary attention this afternoon.
Okay, so the individual, Robert, he was shot there at the scene next to the dumpster, I'm supposing. Is
He
that
was shot.
correct?
He was actually shot in the dumpster.
He was
He
shot in
fired.
the
He
dumpster.
was hiding in the trash, hiding in the
Wow.
dumpster, and his body. That was about 4:50 this
Hmm.
afternoon, and so that would have been, about 5 hours or so after all this went down. And he hid. He didn't go that far. He was still not that far away from the shopping center, and he was in the dumpster, and his body remains there. Even though the you would think, or most of the public feels that the case is closed, you caught the suspect that took the life of this deputy. You still have a process, a legal process to go through. The examiner's office has to come through. The body has to be extracted. The evidence has to be taken. There were shots fired. There's always internal affairs investigations that have to happen when those things, and numerous other things that have to happen within the legal system, the police departments and the agencies. There's multiple agencies involved with this. The warrant was out of Brazoria County, but Houston police are the ones who are doing the investigation on the incident today, specifically that killed the incident that led to the killing of Deputy Vargas.
Tell us about, I know you mentioned that he was a passenger in a vehicle, so obviously someone else was driving. Tell us what you know about that driver.
So the driver, as I've seen so far, the driver uh, obviously knew Robert Davis III, the suspect. It's not known if they were friends or what they were doing in the pickup truck that they were in, but the driver of that vehicle cooperated with police. Actually, came back after everything was said and done. Robert Davis had taken off on foot. He hung around and actually cooperated with police. They did an investigation. They interviewed him, and he is, as of right now, he's been ruled out of any wrongdoing. He just might have happened to have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Of course, a very tragic time.
That's a lesson in be careful who your friends are, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, you never know. Again, we don't know. I'm not sure. The whole day in a situation like this, you're looking at a very fluid situation in scenes like this. So there's details that are still coming out. Sometimes now that it's over, completely again. There's still an investigation, collection of evidence, and processing things from a legal standpoint. But yeah, I mean, this would all point to uh, who you associate with in life. You never know who you might be in a pickup truck, and then all of a sudden it's somebody maybe maybe you don't know that well, and you're doing whatever it is, and then all of a sudden that person is caught in the middle of a gunfight like this, and it turns out to be maybe somebody you didn't really expect them. You didn't know that they had a life like that, but we don't know in that situation. All we know is
Pure speculation at
it's
this
pure
point.
speculation. All we know
Yeah.
is that the driver of the pickup truck in this situation, he was cleared by police, and no wrongdoing on his part.
Okay. And sadly, the tragic loss of the officer Vargas, he leaves behind a family.
He did. He has a wife and 3 kids, and the mayor and the law enforcement officials met with the family today, and they, of course, are devastated. And I'm sure, as you can imagine, as anybody can imagine out there, the husband, the 17-year veteran of the Brazoria County Sheriff's Department with Jesus, he was known as Jesse Vargas, known as a great crime fighter is what they called him. He went after the bad guys. He was very vigilant in what he did. Goes into work today doing what he has done for 17 years on this special task force as well, and doesn't come home tonight. He's not there for his kids or his wife.
Well, our condolences to the family, and hopefully there will be something that comes out of this where these criminals that have a history won't be out on the streets. because this guy had a long history.
He did. He had some charges. I think that I mentioned a few minutes ago, charges dating back into the 90s. I'm also verifying that it might have gone back into the late 80s as well. But he was a repeat violent offender, and that was something that Mayor Whitmire addressed. That's why this task force information was. While they were trying to in the manhunt this afternoon, they were trying to gather all the information. They don't release it right away because it's a fluid situation. It's an active investigation. So they have to sometimes be careful as how fast they release information, even though they might have it quickly, because they don't want any type of known other fugitives that might have been working with him, might have been associated with him, getting wind of what they're doing through the media. So you have to be very careful during a fluid situation as to what you say in the media.
Exactly. That is absolutely correct. Well, thank you very much, Mike, for keeping us updated, and we'll continue to follow the story as it develops. And that will do it for us here at Houston City Beat. Thank you for watching. I'm Lisbet Newton for Mike Acosta, and we'll see you soon.